All right. Well, thank you for joining the Stock Car Spectacle.
Yeah, most definitely. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah. So, you're only 31 years old, and you've done so much with your life. You were in the military. You were with the Navy. You were on the Navy's football team, and now you're a NASCAR driver. So, what after doing all that in your life, what made you want to start stock car racing?
Yeah, so stock car racing, racing in general was something I've always kind of wanted to do. And, growing up my whole life, football was my main priority at first, so I wanted to go to college, I wanted to play college football. And when I got the opportunity to get recruited and play for the Naval Academy, that was a great offer. So, to go to a school that, was super prestigious, a great football team, great education. And then when I graduated, I have a career started for me in the Navy. It was a great, opportunity to go pursue. So I did that. But while in college during my off time, I always would do a lot of research on like cars and racing and stuff. I want to learn a lot about how cars worked and just how motorsports worked. And I knew that there was this bug inside of me that wanted to do it. I don't know why, but there just was. And when I graduated college, I started doing just kind of just little local stuff. Just taking my car to the track for track days and just having fun with it. And I was doing well doing that. And after a while, I was like, you know what, I want to take this to the next level. I want to become a professional race car driver. And January 2014, I was sitting in my room one night and I wrote on a whiteboard and I said, told myself to become a professional race car driver. And that's literally where the journey began for me. And I just kept grinding and grinding from there. I had to learn how to market myself. I had to learn how to get sponsors. I had to learn how to race. I had to learn more about racing. I just had to find different ways to learn this stuff and different ways to expose myself to the environment. And I kept doing that. And through a lot of, last few years now, we've worked our way from racing late models in 2015 to now racing in the NASCAR Truck Series.
That's amazing. What an incredible journey that you've been through so far in your life.
Yeah, it's been fun and definitely not easy at all. Nothing given to me at all. I don't have like rich parents or anything like that. I think my parents would give me a total of $500 for my racing. I think five
Right.
hundred dollars. I think I don't even buy you like one tire. Like,
Yeah, right.
know? So
Oh, that's good.
yeah, so yeah, it's tough. It's not an easy sport at all, but it's just I've always told people if you really want something and you go after it, you believe in yourself, and you just stay strong enough, long enough, you can make it happen.
That's awesome. That's some great advice. So how did it feel when you drove a stock car for the first time I believe it was at Irwindale for Performance P1 Motorsports, correct?
Yeah, it was my first time there. Yeah, so that was interesting. So the first time I actually drove, I just tested, but then the first time I actually raced was April 2015, and that was an interesting experience because it was my first time ever racing. I didn't even know what a lucky dog was, and I was about to jump in a race. So it was I was very very green, very new, didn't know anything. But I think there was 20 late models there that night. And of the 20 in practice, I was 13th in practice. So I was
Okay.
pretty pumped. I was like, I'm about mid pack, and this is my first time ever. And everyone here has a lot more experience than me. Like, I really don't think there was a single person in that field who had never raced before in their life. Put it that way. Everyone in that field
Right.
had at least a year or two or more, or 20 years, of racing in their background. So I was very, very new. And to go out there and be somewhat mid pack, I was really happy about that. But then during the second practice, I had a little spin and hit the wall. So I had a little bit of damage we had to fix. That kind of sucked. But after we got through that, we fixed it. We were able to get in the race. During the race, I was running 13th. So I was running about kind of where I was in practice. A guy towards the end of the race spun me out. And we ended up finishing 15th. Luckily, I didn't hit anything when he spun me out, but he got underneath me and just basically looped me. But kept control of it. No one got hurt, and finished the race 15th. And I was happy. I was like happy to outrun some people, out qualify some people, and just did our best. So it was fun.
Exactly. That's the whole point of things. You don't always have to come in first. You're moving your way up. And that was your first race. So 15th, that's really impressive with the field that you were up against.
Oh yeah, for sure. And Arundel was tough, and the people that we're racing against. I mean, that was Riley Herbst. That was what's his name? Ryan Partridge, who was ran really well in the K&N West Series.
Right.
A lot of good drivers that ran in that particular race who have done great things since. So yeah, it was fun. Good running against them and learned a lot.
That's awesome. So how was it? So transitioning a few years, how was it to have your Truck Series debut at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park? You know, that's a road course. That's a little tougher for these stock car or stock trucks, I should say.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is definitely tougher for sure. And it was interesting going to a road course, especially that road course. That road course is hard. It's a lot of fast, blind downhill corners. And that's just words you don't want to put together. You don't want to put fast and blind and downhill all at once. It's just all bad. So, but it was fun though. Fun. I mean, it was a track that I told myself at the beginning of the race. I'm like, make it through this race and you would have conquered this track and you'll feel very accomplished. And I did. We made it through, we finished top 25. Yeah, we didn't have the fastest truck out there. We didn't have all the resources in the world. I ran on, I only had one new set of tires for the entire weekend, including practice.
Really?
Yeah, I ran on used tires the rest of the time. Like, and the tires that we ran on were all 20 to 30 lap old tires. So,
Oh
when we
man.
come in for the stage break and everyone else was putting on brand new tires, I was throwing on tires that were, about the same laps as they just ended on, and that's where I was going to start on. So we didn't have a lot to work with, but we made the most out of it with the budget that we had. And we outran some people. There was a group of like 4 or 5 of us, and we outran them. And we did what we could, and ended up finishing the race clean and had fun. And that was my first truck start, so I was really happy about that.
That's awesome. So, kind of going off of that, what's it like for a driver like you? You said you don't have rich parents or anything. So, what is it like for you? You have to go out and search for sponsors and make your way up through the ranks with underfunded teams.
Yeah, it's tough. It's not easy at all. When you're trying to go through the ranks and not have all that kind of funding that some of these other teams have, it's tough. Because you can't compete with that. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how good you are. If somebody has a Ferrari and you got a Honda Civic, it doesn't matter how good a driver you are, the Ferrari is just probably gonna win. So
Right, right,
it's how it is. It's motorsports in general. It's not like a my will versus your will, unless we have even cars. But
right.
so you got to know where your budget is and where it competes with other budgets. And you got to try to outrun the people who are running the same type of stuff you are. So that's the biggest thing. So it is a grind for sure. Finding sponsors, it's never easy. I've been able to find a decent amount, which is good, but it's still never easy. It's still a constant grind. After you have one, some sponsors, they love doing stuff, but every sponsor only has so much money to use for this. So some sponsors are like, hey, we can only do like 2 races or 3. Some are like, hey, we can do 6. Some sponsors are like, hey, we can do a whole season. Or Jimmy Johnson, Lowe's, they could do quite a few seasons. So you just
Right.
never know what you have, but you make the most of it. You make sure that they get a good benefit out of it, so that maybe the next year they can do more. So so it's just a constant battle, constant grind.
Right. Or if you're Lowe's and you want to lose some money, just leave Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, they're going a different direction. I don't know why really, but hey, it's whatever.
I guess that's how the market works nowadays.
Yeah.
But did you watch NASCAR growing up at all?
I watched a little bit growing up, but not that much. I wouldn't say I was like a huge fan, but something naturally attracted me to it. So I'd watch cartoons and stuff, and then when I was over, I would always turn on, the race, a race to watch. I don't even know why I did that, but I would just do it, and I just kind of watch it. But I wouldn't say I was a huge fan. Like I wasn't following any particular drivers. I wasn't really rooting for it or really engaged. I just literally would turn. It's like I was a robot. I would just turn it on and just watch it, and I don't know
Right.
why. And maybe that was just telling me something early, like, hey, this is what you're gonna do. Just know that this is what you're gonna do.
That's awesome. So do you have any drivers that kind of like inspire you or that you like look up to?
Yeah, Dale Jr. Honestly, not just because he's Dale Jr. and he's super popular, because I've actually gotten to meet him and talk to him, and like when I say meet him, talk to him, like I've actually got to talk with him for an extended period of time, and a really cool guy, and just really down to earth. For a guy with all the popularity and all the cameras and all the media around him, he's still down to earth, nice, cool guy. Like he's not over his head. He doesn't think he's just the God's gift to earth. He's just a nice, humble, good, cool guy. Like it's almost like he doesn't even know he's popular. Like he
Right.
knows, but he just doesn't let that affect him. So that's really awesome, and that's just the type of person I want to be like. Where I don't want to be the person who's just too cool for school.
Right. That's awesome. So I went and met you last year at Chicagoland Speedway, and I noticed that you were going to a lot of the Monster Energy Cup tracks last year, and you were doing some work with some veterans. Could you
Yeah, yeah.
explain? Can you explain a little bit about what you do for the veterans, since you are also a veteran?
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, what I do for the vets is when we go to different cup tracks, what we'll do is we'll tour them around. So NASCAR does a troops to the track thing where they'll bring different troops to the track, different sailors, Marines, airmen, soldiers, you name it. When they come, I will help them tour them around, give them my kind of piece on like the track and NASCAR and all that stuff. And it's cool for them to hear it from my perspective since I'm still actually currently I'm in the Navy Reserves now, but I mean, I'm still in and racing, so I could give them, just a military guy who can speak their same language, talk to them about NASCAR, some of them actually doing. It's cool, so they can see both perspectives, right, of that, and then also kind of learn my story and how I got into it. And for them, it's really cool when they get to hear it from me instead of just a NASCAR employee.
Right, because you've been through it just like them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great.
I can relate to them. They can relate to me.
Exactly. That's really cool. That's really awesome. So, what were the first steps you kind of took to start driving? You said, you did a lot of testing and stuff like that. I know you did some drag racing, right?
Yeah, yeah. I used to drag race 2011 through 2015. Used to drag race the bunch. Actually, not even through 2015, through 2013. Used to drag race. Then I started road coursing with my Corvette. Did that for 2013 through 2015. And then simulator time. Got a lot of iRacing simulator time. So I jump on simulator a lot. Spent a lot of time on there. Got a lot of laps, and all that together is kind of what prepped me to be able to race. And I still get on iRacing a lot. In fact, last night at 2 a.m. I was on iRacing, just getting some laps in. So I use that to get some practice, and it helps so that when I get to the track, I feel like I've done it before.
That's awesome. And I have iRacing as well, and I don't do any racing at all. And this is the first time I've actually technically stepped into a NASCAR race car, and it's
Yeah.
pretty difficult.
Oh
And
yeah.
I
Right.
give you guys a lot of credit
Yeah.
because a lot of
Imagine
people. Go ahead.
Imagine doing that. So like iRacing is really good about the dynamics. So the dynamics feel very, very similar to the real car, but the only thing you don't get is you don't get all the heat and the G forces,
Yeah.
and all that stuff that's happening to your body while you're trying to concentrate. And then also just, the fear of like, hey, like this is an expensive race car. Like, let me not wreck.
Right. Yeah, you can't respawn your race car.
Exactly. You can't just be like, oh, let me try that. That didn't work. Let me reset or whatever. You know.
Right. So that's good to hear that you're using that technology to help your real life racing.
Oh
That's
yeah, for
awesome.
sure. It helps a lot.
That's good. So, going a little off track. What kind of hobbies do you have when you're off the track?
Hobbies for me, honestly, I love snowboarding. So during the winter, I try to snowboard. I would love to snowboard at least 3 times each winter. That doesn't always happen because I'm so busy. But I normally get at least one time in where I can go to the mountains for a weekend and just snowboard. I love doing that. It's super fun. I wish I could snowboard a lot more weekends throughout the year. Maybe one day I can figure out how to do that. But so yeah, snowboarding's fun. Being a racer, I'm into cars, so street cars. I'm very into that. So whenever I find time to do street car stuff, like maybe going to a drag strip or whatever, doing something else street car related, it's fun and I do it. Even every once in a while I go to car meets. I'm not a big car show fan. I don't like standing and looking at cars. I like getting in cars and driving them. So
Right.
but I'll go to meets every once in a while. Sometimes it's cool seeing some different builds, different things, whatever. But yeah, that's kind of my biggest things. I don't do a lot outside of that. I mean, I like movies a lot, so action movies a lot, especially all the Marvel comic stuff. Like I'm huge on that stuff. I sit there and watch like all the different reviews and all different previews of what they think's gonna happen. I'm super excited about Endgame coming up this weekend. So we're now in the end game. We don't know what's gonna happen, but they're gonna figure it out. So I'm super super pumped.
It's going to be a crazy movie. I can't wait for it to come
Oh, yeah.
out.
Oh yeah.
All right. So, do you have any fun facts about you?
Fun facts. Yeah. The one thing people don't really know is I can do a movie preview voice. So I have like this, like I can do like a trailer voice, like for like a scary movie. Like
Right.
I could do hold on. In a world where few survive, he had one chance, and his chance was to fight back. But what he didn't know was someone's playing a deadly game.
That's awesome. See, now you have another career lined up for you when you're done with racing.
Yeah, and
That's awesome.
the thing is, I'm a little sick right now too, so I can't even fully do it the way I really can. My voice is like kind of cracking, so like, yeah, I could do it even better. But yeah, no, that's my little known thing about me that people don't really know.
That was awesome. Like I can definitely see you getting a career with that.
Thanks.
So, do you have a favorite track to race on at all, or a favorite track to watch when they're racing the Cup Series or
Yeah.
Xfinity?
Racing wise, two of them. So I really like Canadian Tire Motorsports Park a lot, just because it's a beautiful track. I like Sonoma a lot. I like the road courses are fun. They're just fun. The road courses always. Oval track. I really liked Vegas a lot. Really like Vegas. Vegas in the spring. I don't know how the September 100-degree one will be, but the spring one was really nice. The weather was like perfect. The track is really awesome, clean, just a nice facility, really cool place to race.
So,
So
thank you very much. That's all I had.
yeah,
Thank you for joining the show and just thank you for doing this interview. It means a lot. You're
yeah,
my first NASCAR driver to interview.
awesome, cool, cool. Hopefully we get a lot more.
All right. Thank you very much.